Now I'm going to ask my neighbor to come up. She's going to have a little testimony because she's got to go. I want her to be able to have a few minutes before we finish this little prayer activity because it has to do with us as a church. So Christina, can you come on up? And for those that don't know, this is a neighbor of ours. Her name is Christina. The time is yours.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Like Frank said, no, you're fine. It's okay. I'm Frank and Letitia's neighbor. I wanted to come and talk to you guys about the power of prayer. It's an amazing thing. I've been battling cancer, breast cancer, for the past 6 years, actually 5 years. And I was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer that had moved to my lymph nodes and had taken over my abdomen, my pelvis, my thoracic lymph nodes. Basically, it was going everywhere. I developed a large tumor on my neck that covered the whole side of my neck. And it was very painful. It was just terrible, hard experience. I dealt with a lot of self-doubt, self-pity, all of that. I started losing hope. My doctor didn't give me a good prognosis. She said I needed to start getting my things in order, start telling my kids goodbye. I have 2 children, a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old. And so I was just basically told that I would die. And I felt that way. I really did. I felt like there was no more hope, that it was just going to be the end. And I came home and I talked to my parents about it, and my mom said, "No, you're not going anywhere. You are not going to die. God has you in his hands. He's going to take care of you. He is going to give you the healing that you need." And I said, "Mom, you're right. This is the only way that I can be saved." The oncologist told me that chemo would just give me a few more months, maybe a year, maybe a couple of years. But she said, that's not going to cure you. That's no cure for stage 4 breast cancer. And my mom, she's such a prayer warrior that she went and called her congregation and everyone started praying for me. I went with my neighbors, Frank and Letty, and they started praying for me. I actually came and visit you guys. I don't know if you guys remember that I came and you guys all prayed over me, and I felt the Holy Spirit just lift me up out of that darkness that I was in. I was just in total despair and darkness. And I felt it in my heart that I was going to be saved after that. All the prayers just turned me around. Everybody just started coming out of nowhere telling me, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. And that just gave me so much hope, so much faith in God is the one that can do this. It's not going to be the chemo. It's not going to be the immunotherapy. That was just there as a tool. But the only thing that was going to heal me was God. He came into my heart and said, I'm going to heal you. But you have to do your part. You have to do your part. You have to allow people to pray for you. You have to accept it. Let it come in. Open your arms to it, Christina. Open them up. Let them come in, because that is the only way that you're going to get through this. And to be honest, before this, I was just really in a dark place. I had conflict with my sisters. We were fighting. It was just a very dark place. And when I thought I was going to die, I said, you know what? I have to forgive. I have to let go of all this, of everything that is damaging me inside. I have to let it go. And when people told me, you have to let the Holy Spirit in, you have to let God in, that's what they were talking about. You have to forgive and let the good in. And that's what I did. I forgave my sisters. We talked about it. We forgave each other. And it was just a whole turnaround, a 360, just turned around everything. All the prayers that were flowing, everybody would ask me, Christina, what do you need? What can I help you with? And I said, I don't need anything but prayers. Prayers is all I need. And so that's what I just feel like is what helped me. By the time I started chemotherapy and immunotherapy, I knew I was going to get through it. I knew that God was going to get me through it because he said, by his stripes you are healed, right? And all I kept telling myself was, I am healed, I am healed, I am healed. And so when I started the chemotherapy, I didn't want to do chemotherapy. I wanted to stay on natural treatment, and my brother and sister Letty and Frank know how much I didn't want to do it, but it was, at this time, it was the only way. I needed medical intervention. But all I can think of was when I was having the IV going in, all I could think was, Jesus is coming in. Jesus is coming in. This is Jesus. This is not chemotherapy. This is Jesus. And that's what got me through those weeks of chemotherapy and immunotherapy. I did chemotherapy and immunotherapy for about 4 months. And the tumor that was about 5 centimeters long just shrunk, dried out, and fell out like a scab. Yes. In November of last year, that's when the tumor or the mass that I had dried out and fell out. I had a PET scan, and my oncologist said, well, if we can see that this is gone, let's check the rest of your body. So they did a PET scan, and to our surprise, well, to her surprise, not much of my surprise, I knew God was working, and the PET scan was all clear. Wow. There was no more cancer. She said, I can't find anything on this PET scan. There's no more cancer. And all I can say is that it was the power of prayer. It was all the prayers from you guys, all the prayers from everybody that I came across that saw me with this big lump on the side of my neck. And I just said, I just need prayers. I just need God to hear these prayers. And he answered. He answered. So don't ever stop praying, even for the ones that don't have anybody to pray for them, that don't have a soul that can pray for them. Those are the ones that need it the most. So please continue to pray for all those souls that need it the most. So thank you very much. And thank you for this congregation. I appreciate all the prayers. Thank you. Thank you.